Hello, this is the Am I the Only One Exactly Like Me activity. This is an activity that can be done with younger kids to make them start thinking about different physiological attributes that everyone has by highlighting different physical traits, such as height, weight, and how fingerprints look. This activity encourages students to consider how people's physical traits are both similar and different. This activity encourages thoughts and considerations concerning life science. The learning objective of this activity is to celebrate our individuality. This activity will ask students to record data about different physical traits. This activity will also ask children to discuss, compare, and contrast collected data. Key vocabulary that is important for kids to know before conducting this activity is the following: weight, height, compare, contrast, mark, and fingerprints. For convenience, I will present a list of possible definitions. Weight, how heavy an object is. Height, how tall something is. Compare, to look at two things/objects and see what is similar between the two things/objects. Contrast, to look at two things/objects and see what is different between the two things/objects. Mark, evidence that something has touched another object, such as a scrape, cut, or spot. Fingerprints, the lines that can be seen on one's own hands. This activity was sourced from Jean D. Harlan and Mary S. Rivkin's 2012 book, Science Experiences for the Early Childhood Years, an Integrated Effective Approach, 10th edition. Before starting, it is important to gather the following materials: a science folder, a large mirror, a yardstick, meter stick, or anything that could be used to measure someone's height, a scale, an ink pad, a magnifying glass. Once everything is collected, label the folder I am, then leave a blank spot for a student's name. On the first page, write I am tall, I weigh. Leave a space between am and tall. Also leave a space after weigh. Then lower on the first page, add a section called I look like this. Label the second page, Mine Alone. The next section will describe how the activity is to be conducted. Step 1. The facilitator should weigh and measure each child. Step 2. Facilitators should encourage children to write or dictate what they see in the mirror. Then draw pictures of themselves. Add their weight, their height, and the day's date. Step 3. Have children trace one hand outline on the Mine Alone page with the fingers outspread. Have them press each fingertip of the traced hand on the ink pad and stamp firmly onto the traced fingertips. Examine the prints with a hand lens or jeweler's loupe. If this activity is to be conducted with a small group of students, adults can ask the children to talk about what information that was found. A couple of questions an adult could ask children to consider are the following. Firstly, what do fingerprints look like? Secondly, what differences do you see when comparing data? Thirdly, one could ask, what similarities do you see when comparing data? I offer these possible questions to encourage learners to think about and how to consider physical traits which may appear amongst different people, showing how people are both alike and different from one another. In conclusion, Am I the Only One Exactly Like Me activity is a fun way to get kids to think about their physical appearances while collecting data about themselves to discuss the gathered information in an artistic and spoken way to see how us humans are both similar and different. This has been a description of the Am I the Only One Exactly Like Me activity.